but you can lock down enemies, but what do you really do in like the mid game and stuff? You are very pretty weak hero.
I'm still not sure about the fight selection though.
Well, I think for me I think if Liquid wants to play like this, I think they have to match a little bit more of the team fight aspect into Newbee. Because I think if you're going to play this full split-up game, you have to play the game really, really perfectly. And Newbee definitely played better in that last game.
Yeah, so let me bounce the stat off you that I noticed just now. So you take all players that have 40 or more games in this patch. GH is by far the leader in assists per minute, and assists about every 3 minutes, 43 seconds. He's also the leader in deaths per minute. He has 1 death every 5 minutes. This version of Liquid likes to fight. They likes to mix it up.
Yeah.
And it felt like in that game, they could have been just a little bit more impatient in a couple of those engagements, not necessarily given Newbee those fights, stuck with the split push a little longer.
I mean, it's an interesting concept, though, right? Is if we know Newbee is going to be constantly forced to 5-man because of their team fight aspect, because they have to play around Ravage and Sleep, then
there goes the knife. Okay.
Oh, look at that. There's a respect ban in there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In turn, right, you have this Lycan who's going to be able to split push for you, and you have the Treant Protector who's going to be able to slow down the pushes of Newbee, right? So you saw in that game, it actually did work out pretty well. They were keeping most of their towers while the Lycan was farming. Then you're able to get their team fighting BKBs, and maybe you have a better chance. But I think Liquid split themselves almost a little too much. I think they got too greedy and being able to protect their towers while split pushing with the Lycan. And Newbee definitely capitalized pretty hard on it.
Absolutely agree. I give Newbee a lot of credit for those early rotations toward the tail end of the laning phase when Newbee were going hard at that mid-tier 1, and it looked like Matumbaman was actually already hitting the bottom tier 2, and it looked like Liquid might end up with the favorable trade there. Newbee had the right TP rotations with the right timing to answer that split push early, but Liquid then just went away from it.
First pick Razor was banned by Newbee the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good flex pick hero for them. More than likely going to be a Matumbaman hero, but definitely we've seen Mind Control play this in the offlane before.
It would have been a big drafting advantage if Liquid gave away that Naga Siren and could have beat it, right? But unfortunately now it's going to go the other way, where Newbee are the ones who have the advantage because they have this really strong pick.
Lane Dominator Razor as that first pick. These teams, even when they met up in the group stages, they were taking out Razor.
Yeah. It also, Newbee really likes their Omni Knight as well. Let's take that. Yes, I love that pick.
Same.
Kaka's Earth Spirit, it's been very good, not necessarily excellent, but very solid this season, and it just takes that hero away from GH.
I'm wondering, do they take the AA, take a page from Liquid's book, right?
It feels a little bit too much to me.
Okay.
I just think the Disruptor's still on the table. Yeah, you've had so much success with that hero.
Sand King is not.
Bane's still there as well.
Sand King was banned, yeah.
Yeah, Sand King.
And the Death Prophet, so the SCCC hero, look, you can't argue with this. I mean, these are, I didn't mention this in our intro, but these are actually the two most accomplished, with due respect to Burning and who deserve a place in the conversation. These are the two most accomplished farming players in the history of Pro Dota. You look at 271 players with 350 or more career games, Miracle and SCCC, 590 gold per minute average, by far the highest.
Sorry, I've got a call coming in. Sorry, Black. Yeah, no, I'll mention it.
No. Anti-Mage is banned from the panel, Paul.
I can't help thinking about whenever anyone says great at farming, Black comes to mind.
Shout out to Dominator.
The Death Prophet also.
Shout out to Dominator.
Oh, the Razor Omni Knight combo. This is something that Newbee loves to open with.
So the Death Prophet is really good at being able to guard against the Omni Knight, which is a very likely pickup for Liquid in that regard, right? We're going to have double silences, and it is also very strong because we also are unlikely to run a Bane as a second pickup here for Liquid either, which is also another really good combination with Razor because Bane doesn't have the same effect against a mid-Death Prophet as many other heroes.
We'll give you credit for the call there, Cap.
Thank you, Alan.
You know how I get carried away with my numbers.
CK ban by Liquid. Something Razor can't deal with by any means. Just gets shredded throughout the majority stages of the game unless you have a huge advantage.
Illusion Hero is just our problem for the Razor in general.
Are we going to have a 3-4 pickup of Lycan? Or are the teams going to... Because we heard earlier that Matumbaman doesn't actually think the Lycan is that OP. So, and if Liquid just lost with it, maybe they don't pick it up. Actually, in turn, does Newbee want a Lycan?
I kind of like Mugi PL.
Team Liquid's turn to
We're getting banned a lot.
I was going to say it was banned in the last.
It's been banned. Yeah, it's been banned in a ton of games.
Newbee banned it the last.
It was Newbee
time,
banned.
sure.
Yeah, Newbee banned in game 1.
Against Razor, it'd be a great pickup.
Yep. And I think Newbee is one of the few teams that runs it primarily safe lane.
This is the first time at this tournament that Liquid's opened up with 2 cores.
First time in quite a while.
Yeah, I rarely see them do this.
remaining.
Last banner phase 2 for Liquid then, where do they go?
Ancient Apparition is still a viable pickup for either.
Yep.
I was thinking that for Liquid in the first 2, but I think I guess they wanted to save there so they can get like some kind of combo coming out from the 2 supports.
Yeah, and I think what we're going to see here, Liquid is going back to basics, and they're saying, look, the book on Newbee for a very long time is they're going to pick these very teamfight heavy lineups,
Yeah.
and they're not necessarily going to lock down their lanes. And the best opportunity that a lot of teams in the Chinese scene have used to punish Newbee time and time again is you pick very aggressive lanes and you go into them at the start of the game. And I think the Razor Omni Knight is an excellent foundation to do that.
I like that. Should be called the Razor Knight.
The Razor
Knight.
Yeah. We should just call it from now on. When it gets opened like that.
So they take out that bat. Very good hero versus both Razor and Omni.
Yeah.
Turn rates are atrocious. Laning phase is also very good for the bat versus those heroes.
It's been a fantastic hero recently for KP as well.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn to
Okay. I love the other thing that Newbee are really doing now. If you look at the Tusk and Coddle bans and then the Rubik and Earthspear pickups, they are really attacking GH's hero pool.
Yeah, and now they've got Rubik versus Omni.
Yep, the better
dream.
Omni.
To protect the Death Prophet,
Yep.
that makes it so much better.
10 seconds remaining.
Are you surprised in retrospect that Liquid didn't take out the Rubik in one of the bans?
Yeah.
I think I am.
I think we've very much agreed whenever we've seen this matchup that it feels like the Omni Knight always fails to have the same impact. Like if the Rubik is matching your impact as a 5 position against
exactly.
your 3 position, then it's a bit discouraging.
Yeah, someone said to me the other day, it's almost like having 3.5 cores.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you look at Rubik players at this level, certainly.
I mean, it makes your game as a Rubik much easier too. You're not like, oh, I need to steal spells from anybody else. No, you're like, I'm only targeting Omni Knight.
One
Okay.
guy on the map.
A little pause I have here though. This is most likely going to be a 5 position Rubik.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we've seen Faith play the Earth Spirit. At least not too often. Let me check on that.
He's played it. It was yeah, not much though. I mean, it's Kaka's 3rd most played in this patch.
Liquid's got to get something to round them up so they can take some fights. Because
Okay.
I don't think that they can take fights at all versus this right now. And that's how I feel Liquid always plays. They always just want to battle nonstop.
Yeah, you need like some mass team fight heroes, Ancient Apparition, Kunkka, like any of those kind of supports that give you a big boost. Because the split push option did not work as well for Team Liquid in Game 1.
You take ours, we'll take yours. Disruptor switches teams for Game 2.
I wonder because they're only 3 and 5 with Kaka on the Earth Spirit, and the Rubik. It just feels like you want to run him as a 4 in this game.
5 seconds remaining.
Disruptor versus Death Prophet. You don't take the tower with Exorcism, you start backing up and get easily glimpsed back, get those pickoffs. Disruptor also one of the better heroes versus Earth Spirit. You roll in, you can always get the combos on top and stop just like a combo breaker kind of hero.
We still are lacking any initiation for Team Liquid, which is a bit concerning for me. If a Death Prophet is able to set up freely, then there's not too many 4-position initiators left in the pool. Clockwork.
Well, it depends. The way I've always looked at it is that the better push advantage you have, the more the burden is on the enemy team to initiate into you.
Yeah.
So if you have a lot of wave clear advantage, if you have a very strong push to threaten towers, you can get away with less in the initiation department. Although you do need some vehicle to get you into those fights.
It does feel like though Newbee's going to have, right?
I think you're right.
At least when I look at this 3 matchup, like Newbee can still double down on even in that regard, and they can also change this up and give themselves a later game carry if they feel like it's an effective pickup.
I still like the PL. I think Newbee could turn around and pick up Lycan, though.
Team Liquid's turn to
Good call on the PL.
Yeah, I like the PL a lot.
Illusions versus Razor, right?
Yeah, it's just it's Illusions versus Razor, and I don't know what it is. I just really like the way that Mugi plays this hero. He plays it in the safe lane, but in the games that I've seen him play it and replays, it almost looks like you have 2 mids. He's rotating around the map so much earlier. It's like what Aggressive used to do at TI5.
You know, I'm thinking, you know, I still want initiation. Clockwork's so bad here.
Oh.
I think they might do a last pick Earthshaker.
Oh, for Liquid, you're saying?
I actually really like that
Earthshaker
idea.
is so bad
be
in the patch right now, but very few times you see it and it's like, oh, it's actually kind of good here.
Terrorblade in this game.
Terrorblade
with
matchup.
Omni is...
Yeah, and a Terrorblade matchup versus Death Prophet is very strong, right? The direct physical damage you're able to put in, you're also you're less likely to be kited around because you're a ranged hero with long range once you get the Hurricane Pike and level 25.
And it could be a concern because of the silences to deal with the Sunder, but he's got an Omni Knight, so it's going to make it a lot easier for him to actually get those Sunders off.
And you get to match 1-to-1, right? Like every single time he uses Exorcism, you get to use Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis, exactly.
And this becomes now, I think.
Oh, look at that ban by Newbee.
Oh, Cap. Oh, man.
The problem is that I don't think there are any other 4-position initiators that really give you, because Clock's just bad, right? It's bad versus PL, it's bad versus Death Prophet.
The more I look at this is a tremendously high skill cap game for the Earth Spirit player. Because you're counting on the Earth Spirit to be your save for the Death Prophet. You're counting on the Earth Spirit to be your primary initiation. You're counting on the Earth Spirit. If the Rubik gets caught, you're counting on the Earth Spirit to control the Omni. There's just... Oh, that is so good.
There, yeah.
That is so good.
Damn. Yannis, where were you at?
Where was I at for that call? My boy Elder Titan.
Yeah, we were literally looking through 4 positions, just trying to find which one fits for Liquid here.
I feel like that was seen a bunch in the group stages, and then once we got here, we didn't see it at all.
Well, it's been banned a lot.
It has been.
You want to talk about Naga being the most successful hero of the last of 707D? ET is easily number 2. So he has been disgusting.
My favorite thing about the ET pick is Zeus versus Terrorblade. So my favorite thing about ET is he can stall the game for that Terrorblade to become that absolute monster of a carry.
Is this KP Zeus?
Yeah, I think they're aggroing into the Terrorblades. Oh man, I'm not sure what they're doing because they're going to be met with an Elder Titan.
Yeah, the ET pick is so good because I think it makes the laning phase a lot more difficult.
Okay, let's get some predictions. Cap, we'll start with you this time.
The Zeus is a curveball for me. I'm not sure if I actually agree with the Zeus.
Hold on, you're the Zeus fanboy. You called this the other day.
Sure, but I don't know. I felt good about that Zeus, right?
Not so much about this.
Yeah. Like Zeus versus TB is good and everything, but I'm not sure if it's going to be good enough. I'm actually going to go with Liquid here. If they picked something else, I would have gone Newbee.
Okay.
I think Zeus versus TB is very strong, but there's an Omni Knight in the game. It makes it a lot harder for you to actually go for bursting that one. I'm going to go Liquid again.
Okay.
My boy ET.
Alan?
I think with what we saw in Game 1, the Zeus pick, I think, does have value in threatening the Terrorblade. It forces the Omni Knight to really protect him and nothing else in the fights. I actually think Newbee's got a great shot here.
Okay.
No panel curse.
Out of 6 predictions, 5 have been for Team Liquid. And they're 1-0 down right now. Let's find out whether they can square things up in game number 2 with your commentary team, Odie, Pixel, and Blitz.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ourselves ready for game 2 of Team Liquid versus Newbee. I'm Odie Pixel. I'm here with Blitz. Of course, we've got Pinmuckle on the observing. Knoxville will be bringing you your stats for this one. And Blitz, they've changed it up. They've banned the Naga Siren. In response, Newbee opening up with the Kakara Spirit. And to the end of the draft as well, getting those sort of counter picks. The KP Zeus in response to the Terrorblade. But there's that last pick, GH Elder Titan, that can be so incredibly strong in this patch. What do we reckon, Blitz?
I think the ET is going to be sick this game. It counters the PL very nicely. There's not a lot of counter suit on the enemy team. It's almost always going to have... He's almost always going to get his combo off. Oftentimes, like ET, it's really unpickable because you'll pick an Elder Titan first 2, like you will with a lot of 4-position heroes, and then the enemy will just follow up with something like a Lifestealer.
Oh, Matsumba, man, he's come a little too deep over to the side of Newbee as they were there ready and waiting to claim their first blood into the hands of SCCC.
Very nice start for Newbee. Hankaka, for me, is the original Earth Spirit. Him and Jerax, they're the ones that started this wave. As Mind Control gonna get this first rune. Mugi and Faith getting hit a little bit. They do have boots ready on GH, but no way they commit for this. Is Faith gonna walk it off. And in mid lane, SCCC gonna show up as Kaka does block his way for a little bit, as Matamaman, due to the shenanigans there, not gonna get here very early.
You can see down here at bottom, GH and Mind Control managing to interrupt the wave, bring it back around on the offlane so they can get that good solid start to the momentum of this bottom lane when the creeps match up. And then mid lane, Matamaman. You get rolled upon. The instant static link from Matamaman will stop Kaka from being able to stick around for any further harass, but just keeping Matamaman away from the wave and securing these first few waves for SCCC.
Sort of reminiscent of what they normally do for Miracle, but of course for Liquid, Miracle's gonna almost always be the priority. And Matamaman, largely left to his own devices, they're not really gonna dual lane for him. The sad life that he lives when he does get to play mid, he's by himself. But that's okay, because the real hero for them is going to be this Terrorblade, and him having a good start, very contingent on their chances of victory, as once again, Kaka rolls in, no follow-up though.
There's a wraparound from GH in on mid, and he will start punching into SCCC. With the Spirit Siphon, SCCC will be fine. Top lane KP will take another Thunderstrike, and they do have the slow as well from the Illusion. KP, he's going to go down. Kuro and Miracle punishing that solo offlane Zeus.
Yeah, the early level in Reflection, able to slow him down long enough. Very nice. As Liquid secure their safe lane a little bit further. Of course, the Zeus is going to be very pivotal against this Terrorblade when it comes to the mid and late game, as you absolutely rip through those illusions. But Mugi also having an okay time of things. Did have his lane pulled, so Mind Control already level 2. As GH, they immediately force the TP.
And Faith does not want to be messing around with that. So top lane, Kuro. And he's getting chased down here by Kaka and KP. He'll go for the glimpse back onto KP, but with Kaka still around, he'll get the boulder smash. He is going to miss the roll. Kuro will still get zapped down by KP. Kaka providing the vision. And Newbee will claim the kill.
In mid lane, GH thought about making his way into that, but realizes that it's very unlikely that they get the kill, especially if this Death Prophet does have a Spirit Siphon charge available, which he happens to. Is Mugi at bottom lane.
Getting a lot of pressure on him now. GH back as well.
Mugi doesn't have his doppelwalk. I think they're going to commit for this.
They're going to realize this, yeah. They send in the Spirit. They've got the start. One more touch from Mind Control. And the kill is complete. Liquid indeed able to just abuse that moment at the start of the game with that 2-0-1 that he has skilled so far.
Once you see the Phantom Rush.
Nice connection there from Kaka with the roll. KP a little low on mana, so doesn't quite have the damage to follow up.
And Miracle does have meta in 1, pops the Reflection, cancels the Clarity. This is going to stop the pressure of the Zeus a little bit, who is having an okay time here.
It was his last Clarity, though, that he had out. So we'll see how much KP can do. Get a couple more CS with the mana that he has, but he has to be careful. Again, Miracle and Kuro ready to chase aggressively. The Metamorphosis is back online. They've got the slow from the Reflection. Glimpse back as well. KP, he's only going to give his life up another time, and it will go the way of Kuro as he finds the final touch.
Very nice setup, as can't really do too much. I think this is a lane where KP is going to struggle with. It's very easy for them to set up the kill. As Mind Control, gonna get lifted up. Does manage to grab the rune though, and just pops the heal. This is a very difficult kill. They're gonna go for it anyways as Kaka swerves in, steals the rune.
He'll say that was intended, yeah, going for the rune steal rather than the connection, I'm sure. He'll put the boulder smash back to hold back one, but they'll jet off. They'll go for the TP. Faith does make it away.
And that worked out for Kaka.
He got the rune. He got out, so did Faith. All going to plan. Three for 2. Liquid at the moment. There's mid lane, 20 for 10. On the Razor, 9 for 3. SCCC having, again, an incredible performance here. And this time in the laning stage, in this 1v1 heads up. Very hard for Matuma to keep up with the way that SCC's playing in this 1v1 matchup.
Right now, I mean, SCCC just zoning him out. There's not a whole lot that the Razor can do. especially since he started getting dual laned early on. They're going to make the roll on him. There's the kick. They might have the damage for this. He's going to drain from Kaka, but
Oh, it's going to be
C got another
He
siphon.
wants to go for it, and he's going to get it. And in fact, they could turn for Kuro as well. Kuro came in trying to help him out, but he's going to lose his Matuma Man Razor, and he's going to lose his own life as well. Newbee amping up the pressure in mid, and Liquid unable to respond successfully.
It's C going to go for the top rune as the Spirit following him, trying to cancel the clarity. But fortunately for C, the raindrop's going to block that out, and instead going to beeline his way towards that shrine. KP going to join him, completely out of mana. So now they're going to go for a very efficient 3-man shrine. Maybe they even go for a kill right after. Don't have a smoke though.
Overall, as we can see, the bottom lane pretty much even between the two sides. Mid lane definitely favoring that of Newbee. Top lane though, very, very strong for Liquid. Miracle getting absolute free farm and KP not getting too much at all. Mid lane, good kickback from Kaka, putting Matuma Man back into the hands of Faith, who has the telekinesis. TPs are coming through, but there's no way to save this Razor from going down as Matuma Man falls.
They want more.
SCCC, he's trying to chase around for more with a Spirit Siphon. He does have another Crypt Swarm up in a second. The GH just a little too speedy, will be able to get himself away. Up top, Kuro has eyes on Kaka. Kaka has eyes on Kuro. KP is coming across. So is Miracle though, so Newbee have to be careful about this one. They're trying to get themselves out. Kaka will go for the boulder smash onto Kuro, but the stun's not quite long enough. Kuro able to get the glimpse back and the body block on the roll to make sure that they can trap Kaka and set Miracle up for another kill.
Yeah, Liquid right now are doing a very good job of securing the hero that they need to secure as KP gets reflected, but no follow-up there as the TP comes in from the Death Prophet. SCCC here.
He does have the Exorcism if he wishes to use it for this one. Kaka's going to look for the control. Roll straight in onto Miracle. Miracle does have the Sunder ready if he can get the chance to pop it. The Boulder Smash. Can he Sunder his out? He can't! The mini stuff for the Lightning Bolts there. They hold him down. Take Miracle out. SCCC with a fantastic reaction to stop the aggression from Liquid. Bottom lane, Faith getting dove upon. Does manage to hold both of them back with the telekinesis. Mugi's there as well to slow down mind control with the Spirit Lance, but GH can chase forward, get the kill. Mugi trying to find mind control. Another purification comes out. They'll have the Echo Stomp from GH, holding back Mugi, so mind control will continue to escape. Mugi looking back in. He has got backup as Faith. TP's down to the bottom lane. Who can they look for the setup on? He goes with the Fade Bolt onto Mind Control, drags him back. Mind Control, one more touch hit, and he's gone. He tries to deny himself to the neutrals, but it's not going to work as Mugi and Faith clean up both GH and Mind Control after they dance around a little too long behind that bottom tier 1.
At the same time, KP finally hits his level 6. This is where the offlane Zeus should start to pay off for them a little bit. Not nearly doing as well as his counterpart on Liquid as the Omni Knight was able to contest heavily into this PL's lane. But so far, so good once again for Newbee as Death Prophet tops the charts when it comes to net worth, at least briefly before Terrorblade takes over. And Liquid have done a very good job of setting up Miracle for success, but they need to start helping out their other heroes as Matuma Man. Draining a lot of damage here, Kaka.
SCCC, he is going to try his best to turn, but indeed he's lost his Kaka Spirit. SCCC will still claim the trade. There'll be the glimpse back onto KP, keeping him away as Kuro goes for the TP out. Will make it. There's nothing to cancel, but again, a trade favoring Newbee. They lose the support, but they claim Matuma Man's life. At the same time, down bottom, Faith and Mugi. They're closing in onto Mind Control. Purification still on cooldown for 5 seconds. No repel for 20. The control's there from Kaka. He will miss the roll. Purification will be there for one more. He may get Mugi with this. It's close. He's trying his best, but he can't quite do it. Newbee, again, getting these kills. 10-6 at the 9 minutes mark. GH will find the stomp only onto the creeps, no one to catch in response. But Newbee, their rotations and their movements outclassing Liquid a little bit in this laning stage.
Yeah, this support duo of Newbee has been absolutely stellar in both these games. Faith, he got pressured early on, but he is 2-1-3, was able to TP out of those attempts on his life, and at the same time, Kaka, it feels like he's everywhere right now. We've seen the power of this Earth Spirit from GH, but Kaka also getting the job done right now. And for Newbee, all three of their cores look like they're slowly starting to catch up. The deaths onto that Omni Knight has allowed the Zeus to catch up. We already talked about how he's going to be very pivotal against this Terrorblade. And so far, so good. Kuro at the same time, only level 4. Desperately needs to pick up those levels. His level 6 is going to be very key to killing this Death Prophet.
I mean, if you are Newbee, even in the situation though where you are getting these rotations and these kills, you're not really doing too much about Miracle. How worried are you about this Terrorblade at this point? Now, you drafted the Zeus. Surely you're hoping to shut him down a little bit at the start, because so far Miracle, he's been getting perfect CS. He's getting all the space in the world to farm. Can they just deal with him at all stages of the game?
I think it'll be okay. The repelled Terrorblade is going to be kind of an issue, but as long as they can get on top of this Omni Knight,
Actually, they need to find a quick and easy one. There's the Echo Stone to hold back the Death Prophet as SCCC was trying to move in with the Exorcism. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough time to save Mind Control, though, as he's surrounded by 3 of them. Again, caught beneath the Tier 1 tower on this bottom lane. Newbee just punishing every single play that Liquid are trying to go for, as it seems. It's been multiple times down bottom where GH and Mind Control have tried to get aggressive, but Liquid, they've always been there ready and waiting.
Yeah, and I really like how it seems like all the Chinese Death Prophet players play. They play very aggressively with their ults. Even single kill attempts are worth it. It doesn't even feel like they go for towers half the time. The objectives, they're not trying to force it.
Oh, trying for the TP out, but it's a lot of damage to do it under. And indeed not being able to survive through the punch of this metamorphosized Terrorblade. KP will go down again.
He is very farmed right now, Owen.
Yeah, this is what, if I was Newbee, I would certainly be worried about. But as you say, with the draft, there's definitely ways they can control him. As we've seen in a previous engagement, it can be very tricky for Miracle to get the chance to sunder with the control, the mass silence with the DP and the Earth Spirit. And talking about the Earth Spirit, Kaka opening up onto the mid lane with SCCC chasing down. They'll take down Matumba. GH looking for the setup for the return kill. The glimpse back onto Kaka as Kuro controls him in the kinetic field. The Earth Spirit is thrown down. The SCCC knows that he can TP out with no further cancel opportunities from Liquid. SCCC will get away. So again, another trade. Newbee losing a support, but taking down Matumba Man as he's getting severely punished and is falling behind in terms of the cores on this game.
And it feels like Liquid's okay with that. We saw his Viper in a previous game in the group stages where he was absolutely obliterated, but they didn't really care because more of the hopes are going to be on the side of Miracle. But at the same time, in those games, at least Mind Control was having a lot of impact. In this game, Mind Control largely shut down, 1-3-1, haven't really felt his impact. And he's playing another greedy sort of offlaner that doesn't have that teamfight control that we normally see offlaners have. And so his comeback mechanic is going to be a little bit awkward here as Liquid finally going to group up. Matumba Man tired of dying in this mid wave, and with no rebuttals coming on the side of Team Liquid, I think they need to do something like this.
But look at this, they tried to get a sort of surprise play with the smoke up of the ward, the track as well, that Newbee dropped down on the river, spotted the exact movement that Liquid were trying to make. So Newbee, of course, they'll just move themselves entirely away from this bottom lane and just look to put pressure on elsewhere, keeping that mid lane shoved in and also focusing on wrapping around on this tier 1 top. Mugi just invading the dire jungle and just keeping the farm going in the safest way possible, making it very hard for Liquid to get kills off the back of these movements. They do claim the tier 1 tower bottom, but the cores of Newbee still remaining safe at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and Miracle right now, also mid. They've got 5 heroes that can connect to this mid wave, and at the same time, Newbee, I mean, they read the playbook on Liquid.
There's that ward there, spotting him out. Easy roll in for Kaka. They should realize there's a ward there, as that initiation from Kaka absolutely on point, of course. Unlikely to be just off a bit of a wimp.
And it feels like they're just getting red right now. In both games, they understand how Liquid plays. They understand that they're willing to move all these cores to take down these towers. And they're just getting preempted right now.
And the build as well. So looking at the PR, what do you think about this? Of course, we sort of saw an age where there was a bit of favoritism to Battle Fury for a bit, but it seems like it's fallen off. Are people realizing that the Battle Fury build just isn't quite as good as the Diffusal, or is there a reason why you just always would prioritize Diffusal in this game, and Battle Fury can still be good in certain situations?
I think Battle Fury is still decent in certain situations. Like, what it gives you for cost is very nice. The build-up for the item is also very useful, but at the same time, I think in this game, they just want to push forward, play very aggressively. They want to hit their mid-game timings. They've got this Death Prophet. They want to try to take objectives early on. They're all smoked up right now. They found Miracle.
Perfect smoke from SCCC and the gang. Mass TPs coming through. Can they kill Miracle in time? They can. They take down one. TPs are going to be cancelled, but GH, he got the memo a little too late. He continues in with the TP. They'll take down both of them there, Newbee.
They'd be very happy with this as well. Deny a little bit more farm from Liquid as at bottom lane. They're pinging onto KP. They really want something to happen right now. They're going to make the move forward as KP gets glimpsed back. There's the Disruptor ulti.
They're just dropping everything they can to try and find these kills in return, and they do. Well, they should get it. KP will go down, so Liquid able to find something in return. But again, as you said, overall, Newbee, keeping the pressure on. They're starting to hammer onto the tier 2 tower of Liquid up on that top lane. But despite it being 15 for 9 and Newbee getting the heads up in each of these trades, because of the amount of farm that Miracle has, net worth, it's still very close. Only 1k lead as a team for Newbee. The Miracle Terrorblade, even despite going down in that situation, he's still where he wants to be on this core.
He's doing just fine. At the same time, we just saw right there, Newbee have plenty of ways to deal with him. The silence is going to be very effective before he gets the Manta. And if they can keep this kind of pressure up, OD, it's going to be really hard for this Terrorblade to have any kind of impact into the mid game like they'd like. Because at the same time, they've got to create some space for this Razor somehow, who is so far behind the rest of the pack, even falling behind the offlane Zeus's farm, barely staying afloat. Just at 4,000 net worth at 15 minutes.
Ooh.
At bottom lane, Mind Control. Does have the repel though, and Kuro's there. They've got a lot of heroes down here.
Timber's here as well, Kaka. He's going to roll in, he's going to get eyes on this, so he knows the situation, but he still looks to commit with the Magnetize. Silence straight away with the Purification from Mind Control. Keeps Kuro alive though. Drop the Thunder God's Wrath. Spirit Lance out of Mind Control. The Earth Splitter from the sidelines for GH. Catching Kaka across the tree line. Setting up for Matuma to get the kill, and Liquid with the full force here. Ready to find Miracle low. He does have the Sunder, but he has to be careful how close he gets if he wants to try and look for an enemy target to pop it on. Will be healed up by the backup of Mind Control. Newbee gathering around the shrine, refueling on the mana.
Just an easy 1-for-1 trade there. And it's Newbee's willingness to also match Liquid's 5 with their own 5. As oftentimes we see teams like Na'Vi and EG, when they played against them, they were not ready for these kinds of commitments. But Liquid, they're willing to make these movements to try to get their Razor back into the game. They understand this, and Newbee are denying them every single opportunity. At the same time, this Terrorblade is going to be quite a nuisance for them. Miracle has another Ancient Stack to farm up. Now starting to get close to that Manta style.
So they can get him in. SCCC's found Matuma Man only once again. Kaka's there with the follow-up. Mind Control does have the repel, trying his best to save him, and it will keep Matuma Man just alive. Echo Storm comes down, trapping SCCC. They've also got the Static Storm onto Kaka. They move in onto this Death Prophet, but the Spirit Siphon heal, keeping SCCC alive on the backlines. Mugi was able to find Kuro.
Oh, he's shoving all of them away right now.
Exorcism Ghost ripping into Mind Control to be able to just keep himself alive. Kaka going in with a roll. Boulder Smash onto 2. Newbee going in very aggressively here. They find the silence onto both the Elder Titan and the Omni Knight. They'll keep Liquid at bay, back up to the high ground. Newbee turn their attention towards the objectives, go back towards that tier 2. Liquid, they'll have Kuro back up in 5 seconds. Miracle repelled up, still feeling confident as he moves forward. Has the reflection onto Mugi. Won't get a kill, but they do manage to push Newbee back for now, away from that tier 2. The stomp into the Earth Splitter, not quite enough to finish off this PL, as Mugi still fine for now. I say that, they've got the glimpse, they drag him back, the burst from the Purification. They do find themselves a big one. They catch Mugi out. They are able this time to punish Newbee for going for that play.
And you see how strong the Terrorblade is, repelled up. They all have to turn tail. They really wanted to be able to get at least 1 or 2 kills there with the Exorcism. If they do that, maybe they get that tier 2 scot-free. But Newbee, they're still prepared for this. They want to defend this tower as
another glimpse though. KP caught out once again. Good silence in return. He's got the self-fuels to buy himself some time, but with 5 heroes surrounding him, KP is down. The illusions from Miracle forcing back SCCC and Kaka. And without that Exorcism, very hard for these heroes to fight, especially still without that PL for 10 seconds. Mugi still down. In fact, it's Liquid going forward, but whoa, the burst damage. Matuma Man taken out immediately. The silence onto multiple heroes. There's the stomp onto all 3. GH holding them in place. They'll pop the GA. The Static Storm setup is there. Kuro, he's caught both of them. The self-fuels, and they're trying to buy time for SCCC as he looks to maneuver himself away. He's still pretty strong with Mugi back in the game. This is now the time for Liquid to retreat. Mugi, eyes onto GH, chasing him down. Has to be careful. Miracle is still around here. GH, oh, with the damage from the Diffusal Blade, there's no hope for that man. Mugi taking down the Elder Titan. KP as well has his eyes on Mind Control. Repel is going to wear off pretty shortly. The rest of the backups inbound. The Yule Scepter to set up, allowing SCCC and Kaka to get in range. Mugi wants to join the fight as well to help finish off this kill.
Oh, he kicks.
He's trying to do his best to buy as much time as he can, but Mind Control still to fall. KP finds another. 21-13 now.
And Kaka, with the style play, kicks his Phantom Lancer forward instead of going for anything else. He only has 1 rock available. Understands that's the most efficient play. Very nice turnaround for them. At the same time, they finally did lose that tier 1 mid tower that Liquid desperately wanted. And this is going to open up the jungle area, make it a little bit harder for them to protect. At the same time, Miracle finishes up his Manta. Now en route to that Eye of Scotty. He's already begun the split push on the side lanes. This is what Terrorblade does very well, but Newbee ignoring this entirely. They're going to go for the Roshan. They pop the Exorcism for this, and Liquid, even if they know this is happening...
It's been tracked. They scan it out.
They're going to be way too late for this, and they're just going to commit for this bottom tier 2 tower, I think. Let the illusion shove it out.
We have an Aegis into the hands of Mugi. I mean, we've seen how much Mugi can get done with one life. There's sort of damage potential once he has, as he does this Diffusal Blade Jasher. Very hard for Liquid to deal with if they don't get him in the initial setup. Sure, they have this catch with the Disruptor, but as we've seen in a lot of the situations, sort of other heroes have been gone on. KP's been the one to get glimpsed back into the Static Storm. Maybe at this stage, Liquid had to think more about saving these resources to catch out this PL. Otherwise, Mugi, he's just going to go absolutely ham in these team fights.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to play Disruptor against these kind of fast-paced heroes where they just run at you. It's very hard to set up the ring and the ulti. At the same time, a lot relies on this support combo. Like, this ET needs to clear out these illusions so that the Razor and the Matama Man Razor and the Terrorblade are able to actually deal damage. Otherwise, it's just a little bit too chaotic for them.
Thunder Gods are out to scout them out, so Newbee know that they have more than enough space to keep pushing down bottom. Going for the smoker, but again, this warding from Newbee, giving them all the info that they need. They're aware that Liquid are sweeping across. KP hiding in the tree line. He will still walk into it though, and straight away no hesitation from Kuro. He drops the Static Storm. He's not confident with trying to follow through with the control, with the glimpse. They back away. They know that this is a bad place for them to take a fight. They have to be careful. GH hiding in the tree line will get himself out just in time as Kaka does come hunting along with KP. Teeping out just away. Liquid.
The difficulty highlighted right there of trying to get the Disruptor ulti off. When you don't have the clearest vision, it's not that easy. And at the same time, do you really want to commit for a Zeus that uses himself up, largely dodged all your abilities? But it is going to create some space for Newbee, and an unsuccessful smoke for Liquid going to reset things a little bit. At the same time, Miracle continues to climb the net worth charts. He's 2k ahead of everyone on the game.
He's getting closer and closer to that Scotty. And with the space that he's have, he is almost going to have it without too many interruptions. Newbee just still trying to force it down as a group. Looking towards the mid lane. On the side, though, in the tree line, to catch up GH, able to force himself up to the high ground. Shrine is available if he needs it, but he's actually going to just walk on and know that he's safe to get himself back. Kuro as well, just holding down Kaka with that kinetic field, allowing Liquid to disengage. As you say, all of this time, favoring that a Miracle. He's got all the space in the world up top. We are going to see Mugi head up here with the Phantom Lancer. Does now have his own Manta Cell complete on top of that Diffusal Blade. And the Reflection Illusions, though, causing quite an issue for him. As they do manage to beat back that PL. Bottom lane, Matu shows himself, but of course instantly TPing out. Newbee, they're not going to fall for that. Aren't going to waste any time hunting for him in the trees. They know he's out of there. So continue to push and shove out that bottom lane.
Liquid right now doing a very good job of avoiding these fights. The Terrorblade, he's annoying to deal with, but when it comes to the 5-on-5 fights, he's still very limited. Because he is playing against that Zeus as Mugi makes his way forward. They want to try to make use of this Aegis.
They really do. Straight in with the Diffusal slow onto Matuma Man. Kinetic field's there. Looks to hold him back, but the doppelganger forward from Mugi jumps him out of the pit. Matuma Man repelled up. Mind Control will be able to keep Liquid safe as a whole as they back away. Retreating again away from that advance in the mid lane. But still, I'm starting to lose count of the minutes where Miracle's just being left untouched on this top lane. Continuing to lead the farm at the top of the charts. Newbee still very much set on trying to push objectives with that Aegis mid. They still want to fight as a team. They want to try and punish the rest of Liquid. GH kept back, has quick repel from Mind Control as he forces himself back up to the high ground. Miracle now getting close to putting pressure onto this tier 2 top lane. Now this will warrant a response from Newbee. They'll send KP back, looking to force the lane back out with the arc lightning spam and alleviate some of that pressure from Miracle, who immediately heads down to the bottom lane. This though, however, is very close to Newbee. But really it's a bit of a bait. Look at this. Liquid setting up around him. They get the ward down. They've got good vision to kick this off if they can find an opportunity. And send for the Astral Spirit. They have got a glimpse onto Faith. Faith able to glimmer keep himself out. But look at this. The Earth Split as well is going to be pretty huge. Catch it on the Faith and SCCC. SCCC pops the BKB, but the physical damage from Miracle's too much. Takes down Faith. SCCC being forced back. They force forward Miracle. Double kill for Miracle. Mugi also now on the retreat. Matuma Man trying to chase him here. Liquid, can they get any more out of this?
Mugi doesn't have that Aegis anymore. He is starting to get chased down by Matama Man. Very fast hero. So he's going to get force-staffed forward.
AP's there as well. Kaka with the boulder smash does manage to catch onto 3 of them with that stun. Holding Liquid back, making sure the Kuro struggles to get in range for a glimpse potential. They'll try for the Echo Stomp, but Newbee can get themselves back behind the tier 2 tower.
Mugi gonna get brought back.
He's moving in, the Doppelganger straight away to try and respond.
They know which was the
They've
real
got the reflection, beating into him. They found him. Mugi's down. Kaka rolls away, but Liquid, they already got what they came for. They get that Mugi PL kill, and as you say, the reflection proving to be absolutely invaluable there in terms of finding out the real PL. Miracle turning up to the fighting style. Great utilization as well from his team. You saw the repels from Mind Control keeping him alive. I believe the GH4 staffs allowing Miracle to close the gaps on these more elusive cores and speedy cores like SCC and Mugi. And that, as you can see, look at his net worth now. Now nearly 5k ahead of Mugi's PL. We wondered if this TB would be a bit of a worry for Newbee, and at this point it is an absolute terror. Quite literally. Level 19, nearly going to have that level 20 as well. They've got to do something about him.
And the main hero that was meant to counter him wasn't there in that fight. He was TP'd back to base, healing up, and Newbee got a little bit sloppy there. Thought that Liquid would continue to avoid these fights as mid lane, Kaka misses on the Yules, accidentally gets a creep instead. Crack's starting to show right now. I don't even think he got the last hit.
Feels bad. So there's that level 20, and of course, as we're starting to see more TBs do now, that reduction on the reflection cooldown. We've seen already how much it can do in the team fights. Now having it on that was a 6 second cooldown. It's a pretty crazy spell against the right sort of lineup. It's so good in these team fights. There's not really much you can do against it.
It's going to be so useful against the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
Every 6 seconds, you just pop that. Absolutely runs through them, and we see why Matama Man, you don't really care about his 1 in 5 start, because he's sort of the red herring of Liquid, where you'll go on him early on, but he'll always find a way to catch back up. And the Zeus ult gets popped, trying to make an aggressive maneuver. They want to grab this last tier 2 tower, and I think Liquid is well aware of this.
KP on the front lines, Matama Man is going to get the vision for a quick glimpse back, but this isn't quite the control that they need, as KP will still be forced safely away by Faith on the Rubik. Still looking to invade the jungle. The Miracle with that newly found Blink Dagger pickup jumps in. Faith does have the Glimmer K, but they've got the detection. Liquid catching Faith all out on his lonesome.
And now you start to see what Miracle's idea is. He wants to blink in, get the reflection on everybody. Hopefully he's repelled up. He just pops every spell in the book and hunts everyone down. And he is so strong at this point. Not easy for Newbee to deal with at all. The gold lead still only 1k in favor of Liquid. That goes to show you how far behind everyone else is, namely Kuro, who represents 3,000 of this net worth difference.
And look at this as well, something that I don't always see, but I imagine this is a response to the problem of the reflection. Mugi, he's queuing up that Shadow Blade. So do you imagine it's going to be a bit of a reaction once that reflection's popped to get yourself away from the illusion?
Yeah, I think it's so that you can reset, and Shadow Blade as an item, what it really utilizes is, most of the time when you have these cores, you don't have enough item slots. Like this Razor won't be able to hold dust. You have Mind Control who currently has it, but will start to run out of slots. You want these weird heroes to try to pick up the dust and detection for yourself at all times, but if you can get rid of them in these team fights, when you have Miracle just by himself isolated, what is he going to do?
And also, I guess, an item in the sense that, well, will not have the sort of the warrior buffing up his own illusion. You know, an item that he can utilize, but the reflection is not going to gain any sort of massive benefit from there being an SP on that PL. 2k lead now for Liquid, still very close. 29 minutes in. Newbee, they definitely still have a chance in these fights if they can get on top of Miracle. We talked about already the mass silence. He does have that Manta style, and there is the repel on Mind Control, so definitely ways that Liquid can keep Miracle alive. But we saw some excellent execution from Newbee in Game 1 in terms of team fights, and they do have the tools to do it here. It's got to be as it was in Game 1. It has to be perfect. We have to see sort of the OD, the Omni Knight and the Terrorblade being caught out by mass silence at the same time.
Yeah, but Liquid, their game plan, keep Miracle alive. Mind Control didn't build any of the normal items you see, like drums, he decided to go for Soul Ring, Lotus Orb, and this Pipe of Insight to keep Miracle and his illusions alive as long as possible. And now Roshan, an open objective. And this is something that both teams will be eyeing. Newbee now on the back foot, not willing to take these fights. And Liquid pushing forward. And the easiest way to force the fight is to walk into that Roshan pit. Top lane. Manta gets popped. The illusions are going to send this back. Liquid posturing right now. All together is 5.
There's a DD down bottom, which would be very nice for either side before this fight. With the smoke up, Liquid will catch eyes on it. With the temptation there to pick it up, it is. Miracle will claim it. DD on this Terrorblade. Thunder God's Wrath, though, very nicely done. KP realizes they're all off the map, gets the vision. Kaka, he may not be able to escape in time, though, as Miracle just jumps in, rips the Earth Spirit apart. But the casualty is certainly limited due to KP getting the information on that movement from Liquid, as everyone else will stay safe for now.
They're going to walk into Roshan pit, though. They've got DD. Feels like this is the perfect opportunity for them to do it. At the same time, it looks like they're...
Miracle, look at this again. Links in. There's the telekinesis holding him back. They'll put the Lotus Orb upon Miracle from Mind Control. Dust down to Faith. They spot out the Glimmer Cave Rubik. Faith taken down. But Liquid getting that second support. And now with 2 off the map, what's the plan? They sort of hover back between the tier 2, and in fact, Miracle's just jumping in. He knows that SCCC's already put the BKB. SCCC cannot stick around for this at all. With the BKB still on cooldown for a full minute, they get the glimpse back. They're still trying to chase him. He's a little too speedy, gets away. There he is indeed. Oh, he chases him down, Miracle! They are just diving into the base of Newbee now at this stage. This Blink Dagger pickup on the Terrorblade, which we do see sometimes, has proved to be an absolutely essential this game. Miracle, he knows that he can get away with these sort of dives at this stage of the game. If there's a couple of heroes off the map, he's going to be jumping in. If there's no BKB on that death property, and to be fair, even if there was, there's so little that these cores can do about Miracle being right up in their face at this stage of the game.
Yeah, he's way too powerful at this point. With the repel, it makes it even more difficult for them to stand their ground. The Death Prophet, even with the BKB, like you said, she's just going to get slowed up by the Scotty. Goes down anyways. For the most part, he's going to have to pop that reactively. And Miracle going to give the Aegis up to Matama Man. Says, I absolutely do not need this. Way too strong as it is. Wants the item slots for his Butterfly instead. And Matama Man now has also caught up. This is a hero that we've only talked about in terms of how many times he's died. Well, now he's very tanky. Most of the damage on the side of Newbee is magical. They're going to make the attempt on him, though.
This is... it's not really the target that Newbee want to try for. As Liquid were there with the backup behind, very hard for Newbee to go for these sort of kills, and may start getting to the point of the game where they've just got to sort of play it safe and from their own half of the map on the high ground, because if Liquid continue to just sort of position themselves as they have been, keeping themselves consistently behind the 2 cores, it's so hard for Newbee to get away with any sort of play if they don't have full vision, full information on Liquid's whereabouts.
Yeah, and Miracle almost fully has that Butterfly and the Metamorphosis off cooldown very soon. Gonna shove in this bottom wave. And now that the top wave is shoved in as well, I think this is where they might consider just taking down this mid-tier 2 tower. They're all gathered up here, don't have a smoke or anything. But with bottom lane coming in, with top lane coming in, I think it's very easy for them to just start marching down mid with this Aegis. And that looks like what they're going to do.
They need this to be absolutely perfect, Newbee. Even more than perfect, in fact, to have a chance to swing this one around. As Miracle just proving to be such a threat. 9-2-6 on this Terrorblade, and still over 5k ahead of Mugi's PL.
Miracle making his way up. Doesn't even really need a TP in the holster, just because he moves around the map so quickly. Gets the double bounty rune, and Mugi at top, not willing to take a fight into this Terrorblade at all.
Now Liquid still over. Who's over that?
That's pretty cool. Mugi though staying, and the Zeus ult is pop. Get some eyes onto the side of Liquid. Not sure how much help that gives them.
And Mugi just desperately trying to bring the attention from Liquid away from this group up at the mid lane that they're still persistent with. Liquid, the others just staying here on this high ground, making it very hard for Newbee to leave the base around this area. Obviously Newbee, for the most part, pushing in this bottom lane. Liquid wrap around, they will be able to claim themselves the final tier 2 standing, and indeed it looks like this is time to go.
They've got Arcane Rune on their Terrorblade. He just pops meta, they hit this tower. Here we go.
A Miracle. He's going to be ready to jump in if he sees a chance. He pops the Metamorphosis, just committing straight away to the towers. Fortification comes out for Newbee. How can they put a stop to this? And do force them back for now, but now with the Fortification already used, Liquid know they have an opportunity elsewhere. Of course, the split push from Mugi's PL and his Illusions has kept the wave up top pushed right back across the map, but the mid lane is coming over for Liquid.
They might just do the same thing. Now that Glyph is down, they're going to make their way up to top when the wave connects. This is exactly how they want to do it. Miracle just repelled up.
Just going for the split. They just say, Newbee, which lane are you going to look to try and protect? Miracle just turning his attention straight towards the barracks, ripping it apart with the amount of damage that he has. Faithful try and lead him with the telekinesis. Kaka goes for the 2-man boulder smash. He'll use himself up. They'll turn towards Matuma Man. Matuma Man pops the BKB, but he and Miracle's still alive here. They've lost Kaka on the Earth Spirit. SCCC popping the BKB and trying to move forward with the Exorcism. They'll take down Matuma Man once. The glimpse is there onto SCCC, ripping him away from Liquid. Mugi's desperately trying to chase down someone, but Mind Control's the one on the front line. He has that Lotus Sword, very hard for Newbee to initiate on it, and it's a bit of a trap. Liquid, they've got the vision around this point. They'll jump straight in, look towards Faith. Rubik down for 55 seconds, and KP, he's caught out as well. Reflection setting up the vision for the glimpse. They'll take down the Zeus. And Liquid, now 11k ahead. They took half of the racks up top. They'll move towards mid lane. KP does have buyback, and he'll expend it immediately. But there seems to be very little ways that Newbee can hope to stop this sort of a push coming out from this Terrorblade. Straight in, another tier 3 tower down. Liquid doing their best here to draw this series to a 1-1. Can Newbee turn this around in any sort of manner? We've seen them do in the past. Can they do it this time? They'll go for the boulder smash. Only catches out the Disruptor. The Illusions from Mugi starting to push back Liquid. Timmerman, Lotus Sword up by Mind Control. They have to sleep onto SCCC, but no immediate follow ball until Miracle turns up. He jumps in with the blink. SCCC keeping himself back for now. Earthspin are not going to connect, but it gets the space. But Liquid to claim the melee rags. Miracle, Hurricane pikes himself down off the high ground to chase down KP. Blinks back in, has the reflection onto Kaka. Self-fuels, buying some time for Kaka, but Timmerman going in with a BKB. Kaka's down. Newbee, they've lost 2. The sleep onto this SCCC. The Static Storm to control him up as well. The Sunder from Miracle, bringing himself back up to full. SCCC does have the Ghost Scepter and sneaks himself back to base. Mugi trying to reinitiate onto Miracle, but Miracle at full health. Almost impossible to bring down. Liquid relatively untouched after that push, as Newbee can just not do anything to put a dent in the armor of Liquid. And Miracle, he's ready for round 3. Jumps back in, looking for SCCC. SCCC does have the Spirit Siphon. Miracle's repelled of the Storm from GH. Catches onto Faith and SCCC holding them down. BKB's popped by SCCC. He uses himself up. The GH there from Mind Control, allowing Liquid to move in. They've taken down SCCC. He's down for 70. Miracle's diving the fountain, and GG is called. Liquid take game 2, bringing this series to a 1-1. They banned the Naga Siren. Newbee were forced to try something different, and at the start, it certainly showed hope.